Ruth remembers Ed as an educator, talking to people, dynamic, encouraging people at their best to do their best for their art and for their communities. Ed, in 1954, he had a great, unusual opportunity to take a trip to Italy. He went to Venice, and he also went to Murano. And what did he find in Murano? He found glass. And today, the great glass works of Murano still produce some of the world's most beautiful glass, and they produce a special type of glass that is mosaic glass. How many of you have been to Murano? How many of you would contemplate going to Murano? If you do go to Murano, I recommend the Vaporetto, that is the boat, the public boat stop between Venice and Murano. And what is in between the two? The island cemetery of Venice, called San Michele, St. Michael's Island. And it is an island of the dead. And this island has some of the most beautiful mosaic tombs on it that you will ever see. And I believe that Ed must have stopped there to understand not only the making of these mosaic murals that he did, but also to see it out in an actual environment. He was inspired by things like, this is from Ravenna, but he was inspired by like the great murals, the mosaic murals that he saw at St. Mark's, at the Doge Palace, etc. in Venice. One of his first and largest mosaic projects, and this I would have you kindly note, is an exterior mural, not an interior mural, is on the exterior of the Milwaukee Art Museum. And it is called the War Memorial because it was envisioned as a war memorial to World War II. Inside of it is the Milwaukee Art Museum. But on the outside, it's the War Memorial, and the Roman numerals are for the years 1940 to 1945, the years of the Second World War. Ed was commissioned to do this with the architect Eero Saarinen. And Eero Saarinen, a great American architect, known for his adventurous use of cement and concrete. And these shots I took recently, you see the arrangement of the mosaics. Unlike the mosaics that you find in Venice, which are quite harmonious in their color scheme, Ed here chose to use it almost like a pointillist technique of different colors juxtaposed to each other. These are multi-ton endeavors. They're made in large steel frames, set into mortar and tons of concrete, and then craned into place. If any of you aspire in your careers to do large outdoor public art, you may take note of Ed's experience in these matters. Now, he did 8 mosaic mural projects in his life between 1953 and 1979. And it was at Marquette University where he did a mural also in 53, Menasha, Wisconsin at a church in 54, the 2 murals at Flint, Michigan between 56 and 58, and then the Alan Bradley mural, that was a large company in Milwaukee. I tried to get in the doors, but I had no authorization to enter the building, and I don't know if that mural is still there or not. And then I found the reference, Queens College in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, that one I didn't know anything about, and I've never made the attempt, to get over there. That would only be about a half an hour drive or something. Okay. And then, of course, one in Wausau, Wisconsin, in the center of the state, at an employee's insurance company. And I'm not sure what the extent of that is. And then, of course, one at a nearby hospital. Here's just some other detail shots. You know, like I said, my mother-in-law vividly recollected when I was talking with her. You know, she was very excited, and she apologizes for not being able to come tonight to South Carolina because she, you know, has much more vivid memories. She taught with Ed for 25 years at the Layton Art School. She taught art history, and Ed helped her also get other art history teaching jobs. Remember, she taught art history with lantern slides, those big chunky lantern slides, and then moving into modern Kodak slides in the late 60s and early 70s. But she remembered Ed's working on this, you know, the drawings. He would do a small drawing, he would enlarge it, further enlargements, it would be shown to the architects, and it was Eros Saarinen, who had great respect for Ed Lewandowski, who specifically chose Ed for the project here in Milwaukee. Here's one of Ed's small drawings, and you can see how it would be properly scaled up. That is the scaling process along here, and that is, these drawings are upstairs, and you can actually see them right here. Here's Ed working on several of his other paintings from the period where the images become further and further abstracted and large flat areas of geometry and color. This is, as I mentioned earlier, what killed the Layton Art School, was the development of this expressway system. It almost killed me that day when I was driving and trying to take the pictures. Notice the blurred image as a result, unintentionally, from the driver taking the picture through the windshield. Here we are on the bridge to nowhere, crossing the river, and it's right along here in the distance, right on the bluffs, where the Layton School of Art existed, where Ed taught all those years. This is another view of Milwaukee with the marinas in the foreground, the marinas that Ed's work celebrates. Here is what the Layton School of Art looked like. It was founded in 1920, and it was a progressive art institution. They had the audacity to mix men and women in the same class. Not only that, but they had the audacity to have men and women in the same class and nude models, which in 1920 was quite a scandal at the time. My mother-in-law went to this school, as did Ed. She went to it as a young woman, taking Saturday classes, and Ed for his artistic formation under Garrett Sinclair. It also contained a large exhibition space of beautiful works of art, primarily German from the 19th century. You know, those dreadful dark pictures that we all see in the museums. That collection then, after the school closed, went on to the Milwaukee Art Museum. Now, it was right in the middle of this building where the engineers envisioned to put the new expressway. And as I said earlier, fortunately, the money ran out, but it didn't run out in time. By 1973, Ed had been struggling for 3 years against the system. He was looking for other venues for the art school to move to, but there were very few available. And he, unfortunately, because of the pressure and realizing that the school was going to close financially, because everybody, there were signs everywhere, there were, you know, posters, billboards, that this whole neighborhood was going to be leveled. They leveled the neighborhood and then ran out of money. So they never did build that expressway, and unfortunately they lost this very beautiful and attractive building. This building also, in this art school, and Ed was director, I believe, from 54 into 74, this art school was also one of the first art schools in America, and I know you've got a very good program here, to emphasize the first year of art education called foundations. Where previously, like the European art schools,